We have gotten overwhelming amount of requests for sounds in Call of Duty, like list videos, ranking videos, top 20s about sounds. The sound of a Call of Duty gun can go a long way. Today we're going to pay tribute to all those gun sounds that refuse to get out of our heads. What is up, everybody? Jimmy or Chaos. Today, we're going to be looking at what I think are the 20 best sounding guns in Call of Duty history. Just to be clear, we're only going to be looking at unsuppressed guns on this list. But if you guys want a list dedicated to those silent warriors, we can definitely make that happen. I read every single comment on every single video, and if you guys have other Call of Duty sound list ideas, put them in the comments. Yep, and now let me know what the best sounding gun in COD history is, because there is a lot of them, and I'm going to start off with the super obvious pick. At number 20, the Spaz 12 in Modern Warfare 2, the original. One of the most iconic pump shotguns in COD history. The classic Spaz has a ridiculous one-shot kill range and absurd hitbox, plus it was a secondary weapon. For whatever reason, you could slap it on any class you wanted to at zero cost. I mean, this truly was the Wild West of Call of Duty, and it had an epic firing sound to boot. Take a listen.
Double kill!
At number 19 is the M60 in Black Ops, the original. It's one of the worst guns in the original Black Ops, unfortunately, but it had one of the best sound effects. The M60 was the definition of chunky. Did I say M60 or did I say M16? M60. Fired slowly, but every single bullet cracked through your speakers to the point you would get scared that they were going to blow themselves out if you didn't let off the trigger. So many of you probably never heard this thing too, because again, it was one of the worst guns in the game, so nobody was using it, so you probably don't remember the sound, but here, now you remember. At number 18, the MK14 in Modern Warfare 3 2011. I think this was an extremely underrated semi-auto assault rifle. Absurd damage profile, practically guaranteed you a two-shot kill, could even get an insta-kill if you landed a headshot up to mid-range. And the firing sound? It was something special. It was like the classic M21 or EBR firing sounds from the first two Modern Warfare games, but louder and, I'm going to say, more metallic. At number 17 today, the AK-47 in COD 4. Now, COD 4 had some chunky sound effects. It did. Partially because it was such an experimental game and it was using guns that largely never had been used in a console multiplayer game on this budget. But the AK-47, it always stuck out to me because it cracked through your speakers every time you pulled the trigger, almost like the microphone was struggling to capture the entire sound when they were recording the effects back in 2006. Here we go. I'm going to take you back. Before we move on to number 16, guys, remember I have launched my Let's Play channel. We just finished Call of Duty World War II. The campaign, it might as well have been a movie. We're doing God of War. We just started Gears of War 1 Reloaded, the remastered version of Gears 1. It is a straight nostalgia trip over there. The link is at the top of the description and a pinned comment. I would love to see you guys over there. Now, number 16. The MG34 in Modern Warfare 2019, the best Call of Duty in history. There's 60,000 people playing it right now. You drop a price tag down to $6 and you revive your Call of Duty. I mean, I had no idea why the gun was in the game, but it was. I mean, a lot of people slept on it because of the horrible handling speeds and the long fire delay, but the sound was something. Infinity Ward put a lot of care into the gun sounds in this game, so it was really neat to see that care put into a random World War II throwback gun like this. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to dog on it. Just, this is nice.
Enemy at the cafe.
Changing map.
First floor radar completed.
Go on, shoot now. I'm hit.
At number 15, the FAL in Modern Warfare 2 2009. Now, the FAL was always underappreciated. It was in this game. Classic Modern Warfare 2, despite it having the fastest theoretical time to kill out of every assault rifle in that game. I want you to let that sink in for a second. No, I'm not making that up. Despite that power, it seemed like you only ever saw it online if somebody was doing the underbarrel shotgun glitch. And if you actually remember the underbarrel shotgun glitch I'm talking about, we can definitely be friends. Take a listen. At number 14, the Stoner 63 in Black Ops 1. Might be an unexpected pick, might be a hot take, but I always thought the Stoner sounded freaking amazing in the original Black Ops. It was hard to control. Magazine was super, super tiny for an LMG, but it was also a 3-shot kill no matter what if you could land all 3 of those bullets. And the firing sound, it really did make you feel like a boss.
Your package ready for delivery. Mark the DC.
Down.
At number 13, the KSG and Black Ops 2. The first ever slug shotgun in Call of Duty history, and Treyarch gave it this absurd one-shot kill range, but a super, super small hitbox, and every time you pulled that trigger, you felt the power of that one-shot kill range. It could instantly drop you from something I think it was like 30 feet away, and the firing sound, it was the cherry on the top. It was the icing on the cake.
UAV on.
At number 12, the FG42 in World at War. Now, there are some absolute bullet hoses in World at War. I think the most underappreciated one is the FG42. It fired at over 900 rounds per minute, had some pretty impressive range to give it a very intimidating time to kill. Wasn't super popular because the recoil was hard to manage, and it had a tiny magazine, kind of like what we just talked about with the Stoner, but the most memorable part was definitely the firing sound. This thing was a beast. It sounded raw. It sounded angry. Speaking of sounding angry, at number 11, the Scorpion Evo in Black Ops 2. This is probably the scariest sounding gun in Black Ops 2. I mean, the Scorpion Evo fired at a ridiculous 1,250 rounds per minute by default. Yeah, pretty fat sound effect for such a small weapon. Tiny but mighty is what I like to say about this. I mean, listen, if you experienced it, you already know. At number 10 today is the MG42 in World at War. This is one of the coolest LMGs in Call of Duty history, if you ask me, especially since it was one of the only LMGs to actually have giving power. That was a thing. The firing sound on this thing was sharp, but since the fire rate was so high and the ammo capacity was so big, you were really going to start feeling like Arnold if you went on a kill streak. I mean, the sound design in this game, not just this gun, we've already mentioned multiple guns, was just top notch. At number 9, the MSR in Modern Warfare 3 2011. Now, some people actually argued that this sniper had a better firing sound than the classic Intervention, and that's not true. We can't go that far, but it was up there. The MSR sounded super metallic, but super deep and strong, and since it was really a hit marker, it fit perfectly. Here, you listen and then you judge. Is there in any reality that it beats the Intervention?
Heads up, UAV spotted.
At number 8, the L118A in Modern Warfare 3 2011. Might be a super hot take. You may not even remember this gun in there, but I'm going to say it. I think the L118A was better than the MSR. In fact, I even think it sounded better than the MSR. Because the MSR may have sounded cool metallic, but this thing sounded thunderous. You could literally hear it echo through the map every time you fired it. I don't care who you are. This thing sounded cool. At number 7, the PPSH 41 in World at War, a gun that sounded like you were literally shredding up a bunch of sheet metal. Classic PPSH, it's still tied for having the fastest default fire rate in Call of Duty history. And this sound effect, it made you feel the power and just chaos, no pun intended, behind the speed. Plus, you could throw on the box mag and hold the trigger down for several seconds at a time, spitting out literally dozens of bullets and mowing down anybody in your path. At number 6, the FAMAS and Black Ops 1, another Treyarch gun that sounded like a bunch of sheer metal getting put through a paper shredder. The Black Ops 1 FAMAS, fully automatic as opposed to the Modern Warfare 2 burst fire version, and you really felt like a monster running around the map. Heck, it completely dominated the entire meta, so you would hope that you would feel cool in the process because of how it sounded, and we did. Now we arrive at the top 5. The Barrett 50 cal in Modern Warfare 2, the original. It debuted in COD 4, yes, but Infinity Ward really cranked up the firing sound for the sequel, and I'm glad they did. With how aggressively people were using this thing in the Modern Warfare 2 days, it really needed to sound amazing to stand up to the intervention, which, spoiler alert, it's going to be pretty high up on this ranking list, but I'll let you guys guess. The Modern Warfare 2 Barrett sounds incredible. I'm still a little salty about the fact that despite how many times this gun has come back, it never sounded even remotely as good as it did all the way back in 2009. At number 4, some Vanguard love, the MG42. I can admit when a game I hate it has something in it I love, and I'll come out and say it. I love the MG42. This is exactly what an MG42 should sound like in a video game. It's a monster. It spit 1,000,000 bullets per second, and when you hold the trigger down, it sounds like an entire squad of fighter jets is blasting through your speakers. Terrible game. Top tier interpretation of the MG42. Listen. At number 3, the FAMAS in Modern Warfare 2 2009. This is one of the best sounding burst weapons in Call of Duty history, as well as maybe it's one of the most underappreciated. Thunderous 3-round burst, somehow high-pitched and low-pitched at the same time, if that's even a thing. I don't know what wizard Infinity Ward brought in to do the audio on this gun, but their work was very much appreciated.
Standing by. Hostile jamming our radar. Recon. Ready for the
At number 2, the M91 in Modern Warfare 2019. Now, this is an LMG that doesn't ever get any love. Big, slow, clunky, sometimes a tad inconsistent with its damage, but there's one department where it was top tier. The firing sound. The gun sounded like it sounded like suppressing fire. It's like if the concept of suppressing fire got fed through a microphone. It was awesome, even if the game wasn't. Yes, I know a lot of you are back on the game right now, but that doesn't change the fact the game is what it is, and a lot of people think it kickstarted the death of COD multiplayer. Whatever. Listen to the M91 and be happy for 10 seconds.
We got it.
At number 1 today, no shocker. Intervention, Modern Warfare 2, the original. Had to be. Arguably the most iconic sounding gun in gaming history. It's been the subject of many montages, memes, and more throughout the last 17 years. Yes, classic Modern Warfare 2 turns 17 years old this year. Do you feel old yet? I mean, I seriously doubt any sniper rifle in real world life would sound like the Modern Warfare 2 Intervention, but I'm glad Infinity Ward made it this way. It's perfect. It fit the tone of the game perfect, and it permanently found its way into your brains. Take a listen. I'm gonna let it carry you away. Don't forget to check out Chaos Let's Play.
UAV online. Enemy UAV spotted.
Predator missile ready for launch. Repeat. Predator missile ready for launch. Predator missile.